Okay, it's probably been a year. It's been a while since I uploaded the last video. Probably been a month. A lot of shit has happened along time. I don't have any script as always to this video. I think like I'm gonna drop some. I hope the video quality is better. I don't care. The video quality has been shit always. Like since the dawn of this channel, I don't care anymore. So it's probably been a year and more, like 2 days in since the dawn of this business, the dawn of my entrepreneurial life. I wouldn't call it entrepreneurial, but let's say online business, online money game. Thankfully, I survived. Like Charlie Morgan, when I watched his videos, he talked about how the first year in business is all about survival. All you need to do is just survive, motherfucker. And I think we passed that phase, but it's been really hard. And yeah, I'm thinking of dropping some valuable videos. Like just like thinking of dropping videos that have some valuable content that I learned throughout this year and made mistakes, so that the like you guys or anybody who's ever watching this in the foreseeable future goes through it and does not make the same mistake I did. And I probably will give some summary in this video of what not to do, but it would be kind of short, not technical, but let's just like mindset stuff and just like basics. We're gonna go get into that in a second. And what's been going on is that I traveled to my country capital, Kathmandu, like maybe 3 4 weeks ago. I went there because I had to take out, like I had to print out my school leaving certificate, a graduation certificate. I hadn't taken that because I studied there. I like actually did not go there because I go there for this specific thing, because I just wanted to get out of my house. It had been months since I was stuck in my home, and I just wanted to get out. I just wanted a new like environment change, like fuck off. Like let me just fuck off to somewhere, and this was a good reason to do so. And I also wanted to travel to a different place, which was kind of unsuccessful because my aunt passed away and I had to fly back home. When it's been a week since I came back here, a lot of shit happened in between. Like I stopped working. Uh, I still am working with the current client, but what happened was, you go to a different place, you hang out with your cousins, and all day long you're just too lazy to work. You're not doing you're not getting anything done. And I feel like I kind of hate doing client work at this point because my deal structure does not like highly profits me. I think that's a good thing and a bad thing in itself, because uh, like it's a rev share structure, meaning like if the business makes more, I make more money. But that skill inherently lies between me, meaning like if I'm more skilled, I'll be able to make the business more and hence increase my profits thereby. But if I'm not experienced, I won't be able to do that. I think this is a gamble on my end. I really don't know. I feel like this could be a good opportunity for me to learn. And it also could not be it could also be the worst thing that I could ever do, because I really don't know how and what to do. I'm not the best marketer. You can't just expect to hire a 19 or 18-year old and just expect that he's gonna boom your business and you're all gonna print forever. That shit rarely happens, and because they are like 0.1% of those kind of individuals, right? Did I just say 0.1? Like 0.0001%. And I think like if you're starting out, you should just do deliverable based work rather than rev share based models. But I still don't know. I'm not quite sure. You just do whatever you like, whatever you think is good, because I'm gambling. I'm making mistakes probably, and I'm learning from them. Made mistakes for an entire year, and I'm still making fucking mistakes. I think you should not try to shy away from mistakes. But again, like who am I to say? At the end of the day, I hardly made 1K this year. Practically I made 1.4K or 5K, somewhere around that. But actual cash that got into my bank account was around 1K. which is embarrassing if you look at it. Maybe I don't know. Like the first year, again, I always like try to talk same to myself that like I don't come from a like a, have I don't come from a first world background, right? I don't have access to easy payment systems. I don't have access to. I can't just afford $500 worth of courses. It's like I have to like almost give all of my money. Um, And I feel like maybe this is supposed to be the natural progression for myself, meaning like, yeah, making 1K in a year, or 1.5K in a year, uh, like adding the last payment that hasn't been done yet. I try to say that this is a good achievement. Like, I wouldn't have made this money anywhere else, and this shit only compounds. I say I made 1.5K, and most of it was in the last 4 months, 4 months. Before that, I didn't make shit for months on end because I just didn't know shit about shit. Okay, and what I feel like is the most important thing is awareness in business. You just don't have the awareness when you're starting out. You'll start like you what tell me like what you actually do when you want to start business and change your life for good. You watch all these motivation pep talks and whatnot. What do you actually do? You just get on Google, you search like w- you search top 5 ways to make money. If you copywriting, drop shipping, probably somewhere along the lines of that. But that is not actually what business needs. It's just oversaturated and competitive at this point. Yeah, you can whine saying nothing is saturated, but it is. It's competitive. Yeah, it's not saturated, and there's still lack of good players in the market, but it's competitive. Look at this. Look at this from this perspective. Um, you try to like get into a very competitive space, meaning like you're probably not getting job or getting work. And if you're not getting work, you're not going to get better. So it's just it's just like a system that's destined to fail, right? And I think that most of like majority of the reason is this specific thing. And you need to also be because of the whole AI revolution, you need to keep up with it. You need to update yourself to all that stuff, and that is what actually businesses needs. Like the biggest takeaway I had this year would probably be finding where your traffic is, like finding where your buyers are, your people are, and that is the most important thing. It's not your product, because your products cannot be good until unless you actually have some proof of concept, and you can only have proof of concept if anybody uses it, right? You cannot make changes on your product based on your assumptions. And I'm still in the dilemma that is my product bad, or is my service bad, or is I've just not done enough outreach? Is my product, because if I was inherently very skilled, how would I probably would have gotten more clients. But if or like I wouldn't be stuck dealing with low ticket clients, or like in general I would be making more money, is what I mean to say. But like maybe that is affecting my outreaches. Maybe like because I do not have genuine belief in my product, I don't have the confidence when I'm selling it. And I think like this is a separate hell, a loop from feedback loop from hell, maybe. Still in this, like, still clueless, still like confused as for what is the best decision. Like it's just like you just have to just try things out. You just have to move. Like the worst thing that you can do is the last thing you should be doing is stop. Right? You need to move forward. You probably do not know what the right decision is, but the worst thing you can do is stop. And for the past few weeks, let me going back to the original story. I get away from this. I got off topic. Sorry. I was hanging around with my cousins, and yeah, it was enjoyable. It was fun, but I was not getting actually done, and I was just not motivated. If you look at it from like in a perspective from my country, I'm making good. Like it's good for me, but when I like try to do online shit because that's where I'm spend most of my time and time in, right, the online space, the digital space, and you see all these guys making printing a whole lot of money, and you feel like what the fuck are you even doing wrong? Like what should I actually be doing? Like should I be learning this? Should I be doing outreach? And it's just overwhelming. And the thing is, nobody's gonna tell you. They're not gonna come and save you. Yeah, the Twitter post, you have the Instagram post, or whatever. Just it's Twitter posts for me. None of them are going to come save you. You just have to, you know, do everything you can to get yourself above water, which is probably 10K for most of you guys. It's between three to yeah, it's probably 10K for me too, but 5K would be a better. Yeah, 5K would be a high income point for me as well. 5K would also be a life changing amount of money. Not life changing, but at least I would have a better QOL, right? Quality of life. And if I look at it from my country's perspective, I've done very good for myself. Everybody like thinks like I've done this amazing thing, and like most of my friends think like I'm way ahead of them and stuff. But I feel like I'm the most behind right now, like the most. I don't know. I haven't been doing outreach. I just watch courses, and I'm think of that I'm going to, work on my client and getting the best results. Like work for him for 2 3 months, learn a lot of shit, and giving the best results. But again, the client has to be on the same page with you. He has to constantly act. But again, like if you look at it from the client's perspective, also does not want shit to go out there that's probably gonna ruin his brand image, right? You don't want to be constantly selling, right? You're just gonna like build bad will, if that's even a word. And yeah, my aunt passed away in between, and it's been hard for mom, especially because her sister, obviously, and it's just affected. And I don't know, like once I lose that, like when I went away, I went kind of semi travel, which did not happen unfortunately. But anyways, like whatever I did in between these, like these 3 4 weeks wasn't productive at all. I came back home and now I've lost all my momentum. I don't feel like working. I've been too dopamine driven. I feel like like I don't want to get out of my house because there's nothing to do and nobody to meet here anyways. And I'm just I don't know. Like it is I don't feel like working because I feel like there's so much more to learn. And if I start another business model, I just don't have the willpower in me to start another business model. Even if they maybe like I got kind of excited in between to do B2B outbound, meaning that you basically do outreach for others. But again, like I thought that let's not just do what we have and not add stuff that just don't be obsessed with shiny objects. Don't fall for shiny objects. So I just quit all that. I kind of thinking of getting like buying someone's courses, saving money for the next 3 4 months, and buying someone's courses and launching my own info products. But I don't know the payment system, the payment gateways, and stuff like that would get in the way, which is a lot of hassle in itself, and which would require a lot of payment processing and stuff. And I think that would take even more time than what I'm doing. So I just like it's better to focus on what I've been doing, basically copywriting and just growth operating in general, which people say it's not a good vehicle. But if you look at it, like everything, your info, you're just selling the dream, and e-com, you're just scamming people by purchasing this that shit, and software, you're just replicating whatever top businesses and just pointing it out to a specific niche. if you look at it, like, business is everything. Business is just scam, right? All businesses are just scam if you look at it from a negative perspective. And yeah, it's good to look at things from different perspective, but if it's forcing you to just not act at all and not do anything, look, I don't fucking care if info is just selling the dream. If I can help anybody, a creator, make more money by helping, by leveraging his expertise and getting him to help other people for a premium price, that would actually like change their life and get them results, and I make some money commission out of it, I think that would be a good place to be, instead of just selling people pipe dreams and not actually fulfilling on those. But it's the coaching spectrum is a wide, it's a wide system in itself, right? You only have so much control over the client, right? If he does not act and if he does not want to do things that gets him result, and he's inherently hopeless, like maybe kind of I am at this point, then you can't do shit. Like, what can you do? Like, if he just calls you a scam, you try to do everything on your end, but he just does not do shit. I think that is the problem with most of us these days, because we just expect it to be too easy, and I just don't know how to get over this stuff. And like, yeah, you go on Twitter and you see all these guys shaming you on why you're selling info and whatnot. But I think, like, how is that gonna help me? Is that gonna help me? No, because that's a skill I know. That's a skill that market has demand for, meaning like creators do need help with, and a lot of guys are making money out of it as well. So that's already a proven concept, right? That's already have a proof already, that this business model already has the proof of concept. I just need to stick to it. So all I need to do is just not listen to these guys who say info is bad. Just brainwash myself into believing that info is the best business model. Just watch content from more of the info guys and just get into it. By the way, I'm trying to get into somebody's course. uh, it's a challenge I follow on Twitter. He's in the info space, a real G, and I'm thinking of purchasing his offer, which is basically like partnering with him and making profit out of a deal, 50-50. He's gonna handle all the B2B, like outbound, not probably not outbound, but he's gonna handle the sales calls and stuff like that. All you have to do is operate in the back end, which is a good deal. And probably I could get scammed. I don't know. I It's a risk. It's a gamble to make more money. And yeah, if I could like land with him and work with him, I would have, number one, good experience. If I just like watch his courses, like I would like improve myself. Number three, I could make better profits than what I do already. At this point, I've just lost hope with cold outreach, because like I sent 2K plus emails, and I still have only one client. I've got the case studies, still I'm haven't been signing clients. But I say this to myself, but again, I try to bring it back to reality. How many outreaches have you been doing? How many content, have how much content have you pushed out there? If the answer is zero, then you're just sitting there and expecting clients to land on your lap. You're not doing shit, right? And when you start outreaching, you do not know like what to do. You do like dream 100, just reach out to the 100 best guys, or you just reach out to the, what the fuck, reach out to the 100 best guys and do like a warm outbound strategy, or just do mass. Like, you just do not know. But all I know is you should try testing it. Even though I have, at least, like, I'm grateful that we made money in the first year in business. I actually, let me say, made money in the first year in business, which I didn't think even, like, at some point I was just dreaming of hitting 10K. I just thought I would hit 10K a month in 3 months. Then it got pushed to maybe within a year. And no, I don't think I can do that. 1K within the next 5 months, which got pushed off. 1K at the end of the year, which actually did not happen, but I made 1K in a year. Not a lot of money, but actually, but um, I'm at least like grateful that I actually managed to make this work. I actually know that this shit works, and people are out there actually making shit possible. And I've seen a lot of Indian guys Now, probably like they are the most relatable people to us, right? You know, Indian guys, they come from a similar background, but they do have access to better opportunities. And you see all yeah, some of these Indian guys on Twitter, and they're making good money as well. So when you see them making money, you just think like, what is like impossible, anyways, right? But right now, I have reached, even though I just don't know what the next best move is, and I have to like pay off my parents' debt, I guess, by the end of the year, and I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Um, Probably through this vehicle. I think this is a good vehicle right now, but some guys say you're gonna get left behind by AI if you remain stagnant. That is, but who the fuck is prompting the AI anyways? It's just I'm just being more like expressive of what I'm feeling right now. Wait a sec. This is like what's been going around in my life, and I've started to hate client work. I don't know why, and if I started to hate doing things like this early on, how the fuck am I gonna hit those holy 10K per month? This is probably the absolute stress out I've ever been, but maybe that's a cope because the whole process was stressful, even when I was not making the actual dollar. You see, like this is the actual thing. There's always something out there. There's always something you're chasing, and no matter what, you're never happy. And I think money is the main biggest bottleneck in my life right now, which probably is for most people. And I'm just trying to solve it, but I just do not know what to work on, what to actually do. Kind of hopeless at this point. Yevra, that's the guy. His offer, like I'm probably gonna buy it and just gonna go through it. I think I have a lot of hope. If I actually get that product, I feel like I'm gonna put my life and soul into it. But other than that, I just don't know what to actually like work on. Maybe I should just instead of yapping all this time. Yeah, yapping on this camera gives me a lot of insights too because I have to reflect upon what I've done, which is a good thing. But basically, what I was trying to say is, uh, I should just journal shit and just stop listening to all this money Twitter bros, right? Like have altered opinions on my whatever thing I'm doing, so that um, I do not get diverted. But again, like I don't want to miss out on the new stuff that happens around in business, and I want to keep myself up to date. And I feel like this is a kind of like I'm kind of coward because I'm not trying to face the reality, which is maybe what I know isn't good enough or what I learn isn't helpful at all. Yeah, this is the problem, like folks, if you're watching this, like you just start looking at things as an object from an objective perspective, like a third world perspective, third eye, let's say, or I don't know, whatever. Like I hope you got the message. Meaning, like whatever actions you do, like what is probably going to be the output, like action that's going to give you the highest output, right? Highest return on investment, and you just do not know for sure, right? Until and unless you test. And maybe I'm just being too much of a pussy and not just doing shit. But I feel like let's going back to the Twitter example. Maybe I'm being too much of a coward to not accept the reality that as I said, my service is trash and nobody needs it. You just don't know. Like you're just trying to make figure out things and make meaning out of most. And sometimes you're just maybe I'm just getting too stuck in my head and I just need to do shit. But how do you calm your mind? You just can't, right? It's been hundreds of you send hundreds of emails and you just do not know what the shit is going on. But let's go off topic here. The only way to solve any problem is to first of all identify it and come up with the best alternatives, like come up with the best solutions and their alternatives, because there probably cannot be one solution to a thing. and try every shit out until unless the problem is solved, and keep on doing this. But a problem with this specific approach is it's gonna take you years to figure it out. So the only solution to that is you have to pay someone else, like pay an expert to teach it to you or do it for you. But you don't have the money, first of all, to do all that stuff. Meaning like you have to go back into the trenches. And this has been the absolute trenches in my life. I just do not know what the my next decision is. When I was starting out it was pretty, I think like this was the same problem I faced whenever I like in my first 3 4 5 months in business. I just didn't know what to do, and I feel like I haven't learned enough. Maybe the answer is just doing massive amounts of volume and then biasing or basing my opinions and beliefs on. But I just don't have the motivation. I think the environment impacts a lot. I just don't have the will to work whenever I'm home because it's too hot in here and there's just nobody my age, and nobody, if nobody around you is aspiring to do something great. I think like I don't think it's gonna somehow like seed into you. Know what I mean? Like, if all of your friends are non-visionaries, or I'm not saying that all of my friends are non-visionaries. I'm just saying like with the people around you, the environment. If it's not motivating you to work all day, or like just work and build shit, and just keeping you amazed of life, I don't think that's an environment that is gonna be helpful to your growth. But regardless, you are in the trenches, and maybe this is just what I just described in this 27 minutes of yap session is just what trenches look like. Maybe the only answer is to not stop and do something. Maybe just write an email for your client. Maybe just do 1 hour of work, but just keep on moving, which I have been doing. I haven't cut off work entirely, which meaning like I'm not giving up. But I don't know. I don't know. I'd be really like down bad if I like it's probably been a year, right? If like another year passes by and I wouldn't have shit done. For example, this I made 1K this year, right? Let's say technically it's 1.5K. And even if I, for example, right now I'm getting paid somewhere around merely 500 bucks. I mean, like even if I don't sign any other client and I just work with this one, I would make practically 6 to 7K this year, which is still not a lot, which is just pennies, right? It's with peanuts. But again, it's at least better than the year before. And I don't know, like, should I just be comparing myself to other guys, like on be on Twitter for this specific reason that I get more motivation to work? Or should I just cut them off entirely and then work on but then I lose my momentum and more motivation. This so you see, like this is the reason you need money because you just don't have the power. If I had the money, like I would have joined this coaching group to have like-minded people like me. I would have this specific mentor me. I could invest in this specific opportunity that could actually yield better results, and have these guys guide me. But you do not have the money, so yeah, this is the hard part. I don't know. I probably don't want to make 7K by the end of the year. I want to make more. I want to at least make 40K by the end of the year because that will allow me to pay off whatever debt I have after after tax is what I mean. No, like before tax, pre-tax. that would, yeah, first of all, let me pay all of my debt, family debt specifically, invest in basic health resources so that I can, like, and uh, basic stuff, like, maybe signing up to a kickboxing or for boxing, signing up to a gym, going to the gym, and having good food to eat and stuff like that. And that is my goal this year, to hit 40K, um, which just means what it is. What is it? 12, 3, that's around 3 to 4K, 5K. Practically, it would be better if I hit 5K per month, but at least, like as I said, 40K is the goal for this year. Hopefully, I do my best. That's the goal, but as I said, I'm not gonna force myself to death to hit this goal, because I know what happened the last time I did so. I just didn't work for an entire month because I was just too disappointed in myself, in my inability to make shit work. And I also, like, have to realize, I think, and forgive myself that, it's okay to not get there, because I do not come from a similar background. No, don't have enough stuff, and I had to start everything from scratch. Like, every single dollar I earn and stuff like that. But again, like, I feel like I'm being too much of a pussy, and you're just, like, having something to be a victim for. Yeah, it's like I'm just trying to make sense out of the world. If you probably watch this long, I just do not know what the right move is, and I'm just so directionless. Know what I mean? But I have to be confident when I, like, tell the people, "Oh, I'm gonna make all that money." Oh, like, it's easy. I have to, like, be confident, right? Be delusionally confident that I can make shit work. I think I probably yapped much of the stuff, and kept you guys on the loop. I This year I want to, not this year, but I want to make other videos where I just give you actual practical tips and sauce for you guys out there, whoever's watching this, like, just guys out there in general who are starting business and they're just too hopeless, and they're just too, they're just starting out and haven't made their first dollar online, and they think all of this is a scam. I think I have enough experience, as for not exactly what to do, but what you should not do, right? I've made a lot of mistakes, and I think a lot of people can learn from my mistakes. Even if it's just watching a 10, 15, 20-minute video, they would save months of their effort. And I think I want to make videos about those topics, about mistakes I made, what you should do. Probably most of the time, but, like, what you shouldn't do, which would be the main thing. What you shouldn't do, don't do shit that I've done. Um, Other than that, yeah, that's about it. Whoever's watching this, I don't know. Thank you for watching all this, for listening me yap. I don't know what you got out of this, but whatever. Peace.